Welcome everyone, Adam, TheDailyWoo here, Hollywood, California, standing on the threshold, the corner of Sunset and Vine, in front of this familiar statue that is hoisted above the cool, crisp waterways that are festooning off of that 2-foot incline into this pool of H2O. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel, and today, my friends, vlog number 1,885 days in a row, you and I, co-joined in friendship, at least through the beauty of your smartphone and or your computer that you're sitting in front of, wherever that might be. It's the TheDailyWoo. Add in the almost 400 other videos on the Adam the Woo channel, and that puts it well over 2,000. I can't remember, I don't know the exact, you could pull out your calculator and formulate exactly how many videos that I have put out into the beauty of the interwebs. It's a lot. And I got to thinking when I got up this morning and started to do that math that I have quickly, very quickly forgotten. Now that I'm standing out here in public, the mind is not always coordinating with the mouth. But I started to think, man, I've done a heck of a lot of stuff. I have surpassed way more than I ever expected I would have done when I started this whole YouTube adventure, this extravaganza of the interwebs, putting myself out there, getting over my veritable kind of sort of shyness that I once had at one point. There are two things. When I was young, people always ask, does that boy talk? Does that boy, talking about me, does he talk? Because I was very, very shy. You would have to go way back into the archives of Adam history to realize that. But I've always been kind of a recluse. I've always been the kind of person that keeps to myself, and this whole thing that I am doing has brought me considerably out of my shell. It was basically step 2 of coming out of my shell. The first one was working retail for 20 years and dealing with the public, dealing with people coming up. You start to kind of force yourself to start to learn how to communicate and talk to people. That was the first inclination into getting over my, hiding in my own self-cave. The second is talking to a camera, talking to a phone, talking to some electronic gizmo in front of a plethora of people, not a whole lot of people. Normally, I'm around more people, especially in theme parks and conventions and whatnot. And I've always said this, if you are a new vlogger, if you are someone who is aspiring to do this, either as a hobby, as a career, or just to do it just for the heck of it. If you're saying, heck it, I just want to start filming myself and put my thoughts into the world, and if anyone is interested, then they can chime in and become part of what I am doing. I've always thought it's a good idea to do an unedited vlog. Grab a camera, go out in the most populated area you can find. You will get over the fear of filming in front of people. It's a good way to do it. Back in the day, I used to only do unedited vlogs, and I've been doing these edited vlogs for probably about 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years, and I can show way more. But today, I'm gonna keep today's vlog completely, we're gonna take it back old school and keep it completely unedited. And the reason I wanna do that is I wanna just have you feel what I am feeling. I want you to have the sense, the experience that my mind is trying to convey towards you. And the topic I want to tackle today is, why do I do videos? Why did I start doing these videos? Why did I start putting my thoughts, my feelings, my travels, my adventures, my enjoyment of things, presenting them in a nice little package, first on the Adam the Woo channel, and now here on the TheDailyWoo? And the reason is 2 or 3 or 4-fold, if you will, but the most important reason on why I started the daily channel was to keep a diary. It's all about keeping a diary about what I am doing. So one day, when I finally stop, whenever that is, whether, a week from now, a month from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now, I can sit back in my rocking chair on a porch at a homestead, somewhere probably not here, most likely not here in the middle of nowhere, off the grid, that hopefully has Wi-Fi, and I can watch my endeavors of what I've done, and I can say, I did that. Oh, heck yeah. I accomplished that. A major thing, a major kind of downfall, a slightly negative thing about doing daily videos, not only for those that are watching, because you're always looking at what I am doing the current day and not really going on to the backlog so much, but also from my point of view, is I do the same thing. I am always looking at the future, the current day, and I forget about what I have done in the past. I forget about what I did a week ago, a month ago, 2 months ago. And this morning, while I was at my homestead, while I was hanging out, just browsing through the repertoire, if you will, of past content, man, it really sunk in. I thought to myself, you should maybe pat yourself on the back. Sometimes I forget to pat myself on the back. We all do it. All of us are guilty of not patting ourselves on the back and remembering what it took to get us to a certain point. And that is, I'm very grateful for my life. I'm very thankful for what I have accomplished, what I have done. In the grand scheme of things, it's not some major, huge, gargantuan accomplishment. I have not landed on the moon. I have not cured cancer, but I have put a little bit of goodness into the world, and I have changed my life for the better. What I mentioned earlier about coming out of my shell, that is one of the things. But I have also done what I set out to do and continue to set out to do. Over 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, I quit my job working at retail, worked at a feed store, and before that I worked at a lot of grocery stores. And it was really something I wanted to do for quite some time, and I planned it out. And when I did this, I got a lot of flack for it. I got a lot of hesitancy from a lot of people on that. And over time, I think those who had a difference of opinion, and even me, have realized that I made the right decision. And it was not through laziness, it was not through non-hard work. It took a long time to get there. There's an old video, you can probably find it on YouTube, of comedian, singer, and actor Will Smith. He did an interview, and I'm not the hugest knowledge in my brain of Will Smith's work. I don't really know exactly every single kind of opinion he has or like what his stance on things are. But one thing that he said that always stuck with me when I started doing these endeavors was, you can't build a wall in a day. It takes very, very, very slow process. And the best way to build a wall is to take a brick and place it one brick at a time every day. And you lay that brick as best as you can. You place it in the perfect way. You put the plaster or the whatever the crazy stuff that connects the brick. I don't know the terminology, the layman's term, but you connect it one by one. And over time, over a week, over a month, over a year, over 5.5 years, over 7 years, you have a solid structure that creates what you are building. I always like that analogy from the very beginning of what I am doing. And it's come to this. It's been this way for a while. Sometimes I forget that thought process that I had when I started. You're always your worst critic. People say you are always your worst critic, and that is very true, because when you create something, when you put something out, in the public eye that people can see, especially on the internet, where people are very harsh with their words, where they are very, sometimes not always the most positive, you can get downtrodden, you can get discouraged. But the reality is, if you're doing what you want to do, the passion will always be there. You will always carry on, and you will always look at the bright side. I've used the terminology, don't look at the glass half empty, look at the glass half full. And I think that part of the reason I have gone as long as I have doing this and continued on and carried on and always thriving and striving to do what I have been doing is because I look at that glass, that vicarious. So I have a glass right here. And that analogy basically means if you have a glass, if you have a 16-ounce glass of a beverage or milk or water, which is also beverages, if you look at it like, man, I'm thirsty, I've been drinking it, I've been drinking this cola, this soda, this pop, which is what some people call soda in certain other areas of the country, pop. When you drink that, you say, man, it's almost gone. It's halfway gone. We're halfway there. We're not living on a prayer, we're living on this hydration soda or water that is almost consumed. Then you would be considered looking at the glass half empty and not half full. You could look at it the other way. In the other hand, man, look how much of this I still have left. And that's the way I like to look at life. That's the way I look at a lot of things. I am guilty, as is everyone, of not always adhering to that policy. No one is 100% of the time sticking to their guns. We all falter, we all fail. But I think it's all about striving. It's all about attempting. It's all about waking up every morning and whatever your goal is, sticking to that goal. I think that's what it's all about. It's all about that. This has been a random, very random. We haven't had a talk. We haven't had an unedited vlog talk in a while. I just got back off a nearly 3-week road trip. Wandered around Hollywood Boulevard the other day. I have some plans coming up later in the week. I don't want to spoil them, but I'm going to be departing a couple days or so to another thing. You might be able to figure it out. If you do the proper Columbo-like research skills, you can probably figure out where I will be going. More on that in the very, 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 very near future. I love all you guys. What's up, man?
What's going on, bro?
Not much. That was like the biggest failed. Try that again. There we go.
Yes,
nice.
Sir.
See you, man. Sometimes you don't always do a high five correctly. You have to redo the high. It was a high five that was a fail, and the low five is what accomplished the goal. What do you guys think of these unedited vlogs? Do you want to have an unedited chat? You know, once a month or so, should we do one of these off the cuff, non-edited, really no particular subject matter content? You want to just have a rambling, I don't want to say incoherent, but you want to have something that just like kind of flows off the cuff. Where does that terminology come from? The cuff. I think the cuff is like the part of your pant leg that you roll up. Could be incorrect on that. Whoa, what was that? As I was saying, love you all. I could not do this without you. I could not do this without me. I'm not trying to downgrade myself because, let's face it, I'm the one going out there and doing it. But if it was not for the amazing comments, the positivity, even the constructive criticism, all that, and let's face it, even those that are sometimes not always the most happy and cheerful, all that adds into this wonderful thing called the Daily Woo. Don't forget to pat yourself on the back. If you have done something that maybe other people have not noticed or taken for granted, and they don't pat you on the back, pat yourself on the back. You've earned it. You went above and beyond what you should have done. You've done your duty, as Justin Scard would say, who, by the way, he did not originate that. He kind of borrowed it and then just went with it. It's actually a quote from Sean Connery from the movie The Untouchables. You can ask Justin. He did not originate saying that. I kind of sort of coined the phrase, but I slacked a little bit on using it on a daily terminology, and then he just kind of swooped it away from me like a hawk, like a vulture coming in, like a Sean Connery vulture. Pat yourself on the back. Leave some comments down below on what you think about these unedited vlogs. I think I want to start doing one about once a month or so. Just random talking. I've taken up way too much of your time. Or maybe I haven't. If you made it to the end of this video, if you made it to, it's at 14 minutes and 42 seconds. If you have made it to the very end, we'll cut it off at 15 seconds. Give this video a thumbs up. Punch the thumbs up if you made it to the 15-minute mark. I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you all. Vlog? Youre.